From the first known cyber attacks on civilian and military infrastructures, a massive need to raise cyber defenses has emerged. But, despite large investments, attacks continue to succeed. Today, like yesterday, malicious actors are using increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks to create chaos.
A spate of violence and destruction. Virginia is deeply split.
The city of Bahrain on the same day a chlorine gas leak at a petrochemicals plant on the Gulf Coast injured 70 people.
Like traditional battlefield, cyberspace has become a contested domain, creating a real data war with cyber conflicts and the need for a new cyber defense. Data, which used to be just stolen, is now being used as a real weapon against our smart cities. Therefore, although attacks target computer systems, the real victims are people. What is the best approach to deal with attacks on critical infrastructure, while protecting individual citizens?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to really thank you for the effort to be so early here to listen to our presentation. We didn't expect so many people, so really thank you. I'm Luca Iuliano, Chief Technology Innovation Officer, and this is part of my team, to be honest, one of the best part. And I must confess that for an officer that has proudly worn the uniform for more than 20 years, is standing in front of you in this international conference is quite moving for me. And I would like to present my company now. Working in security is becoming increasingly complex. In the technology and cyber context, even more so. Telsy, for over 50 years, has been providing system and platform for the protection of classified information of my government, producing entire in-house hardware, software, firmware, and encryption algorithms. The concept of security has changed, and Telsy has evolved, creating new division, intelligence to gather information, and quantum and cyber to protect it. In our vision, cryptography is the backbone of cybersecurity. And this is the reason why we invest plenty of resources in R&D to face the challenge and be ready to provide security, cryptographic, in any stage of the process, from the design to the deliver to the customer. Before addressing the question that has been introduced by the video, is our security enough? I would like just to remind something that was created by the vision of the Alliance some years ago, about the multi-domain operation that made the cyberspace come up because its deep impact to the coordination and synchronization of the multi-domain operation. But focus on cyberspace doesn't answer to the question which domain is the most important, because it depends by the mission, and it depends by the intensity of usage inside the mission. So it's extremely variable elements, and depends by the different phases that we need to face during an abroad mission. But centrality of cyberspace lies in its ability to establish a direct link among all the domain. It's the key enabler of the multi-domain. I'm referring to the capacity of the layer, technological layer, that may communicate them. I like to say that is a digital expression of the military art of command and control. But to face cyberspace also means stepping outside the military context. And the concept of multi-domain is indeed in the technology. Connectivity is the critical enabler that is in military domain made and empowers the cyber electromagnetics activities. But in normal life, empower the other kind of technology, cloud, IoT, and security. So Telsy is part of a team group that addresses this issue in one unique vision, exactly like defense does for the Navy, for the airborne, and for the Army. By integrating this core area in one unique company is a point of strength for us, because can meet in one vision all the technological ecosystem, and we are able to face the different needs of today's digital landscape. Finally, I try to address an answer to the main question. Is our technology enough? We believe that a more pervasive and extensive approach to cryptography is indispensable and a must to be spread out in every solution. We have envisioned two groundbreaking methods. The first one is implementing quantum key distribution in any core network. I'm speaking about the link between, for example, NATO headquarters and the other military bases, but also between private and public crucial elements, providing what is called in this technology unconditional security. The second point is to develop an advanced secure microchip based on ASIC technology, designed as a root of trust, secure elements, to spread out this security at any endpoint, physical, virtual, and independently by technology, could secure some radio connection, information technology connection, operational technology, or IoT. But all of these are protective measures for the operational environment, are passive measures. But to face the cybersecurity and the security at 360 degrees, we must to think also to information environment. And this is the reason why we developed a unique platform able to gathering information, have an all-encompassing vision, also more than the 5 domains of military, the 5 military domains. Because when we speak about information, the domains are much, much more than the other one. And all of this to have a full comprehension of the situation, of the context, and be able to take better and faster decisions. So now it's turn of Roberto to go in deep to the quantum key distribution.
Thank you, Luca. Good morning, everyone. I will first introduce some basic concepts in cryptography. So the fundamental building blocks of secure communication are data encryption and remote secure key agreement. Okay, data encryption and decryption is based on symmetric cryptography, using a shared private key to encrypt and decrypt. While remote key agreement is built using asymmetric cryptography, basically using private keys, public keys, Diffie-Hellman, and so on and so forth. Now, The problem is that in a decade or so, quantum computers will be able to break a classical asymmetric cryptography and basically decrypting the handshake packets and compromising the shared private keys. And so why do we bother now about this? It's in 10 years or so. Well, the problem is that store now and decrypt later kind of attack is in execution already. So we need to worry now. In reality, there are 3 different approaches to mitigate this quantum computer threat. The first one is kind of the old one. It's called quantum safe cryptography. The second one is post-quantum cryptography. And the third one is quantum key distribution. Now, quantum key distribution is very different from the others because its security in the key exchange process doesn't rely on any secure mathematical function, but is actually based on unbreakable basic quantum physical principles. So basically what we have a quantum transmitter that generates the quantum keys, encodes them, and then sends them to the intended receiver. And here, the basic security principle is that the receiver, by the quantum physical laws, is always able to detect whether an attacker observes the keys that are in transit, the keys that are sent to the receiver. And this is a very simple, very basic principle, but infinitively strong one, because it cannot be attacked by any computational or combinatory or brute force attack. Now, as Telsy is an expert in the crypto domain. We've been developing products in this domain since the 70s. We've decided to partner with a strong emerging player in the quantum key distribution. And this is QTI, Quantum Telecommunication Italy. And basically, we decided to industrialize together a portfolio of products to address this basically crypto quantum ecosystem, and combine our strong expertise in cryptography, including post-quantum cryptography, and the expertise of QTI in building QKD systems. So here is the kind of a complete set of products that we're offering in the QKD domain. So the first one is the core technology, is the Quell-X. This is the QKD transmitter and receiver. It runs on terrestrial technology, so on fiber. It's based on discrete variable technology. And that's really the core part of the system. Another item, which is called the quantum key management entity, is the interface to the application layer, basically acting as the key manager or the trusted node of the system. And finally, we also have a separate entity for quantum key network, the distribution network, SDN. So basically providing, again, a centralized, secure console to monitor the performance of the network, deal with problems and managing and optimizing the network. This was built accordingly with the ASIC 15 standard. And of course, as Telsy, we build and design network encryptors. This is one of the main, let's say, pillars in our company. And we have indeed developed a custom network encryptor based on our, basically, our proprietary VPN protocol called Telsy Guard-X. And this one interfaces with QKD. but not only that, it basically provides this multi-level quantum-proof security, meaning that we combine the three approaches that I mentioned before. So we have a quantum-safe approach there. So we use pre-shared keys, basically. Second one, post-quantum cryptography is in the handshake. Crystal Kyber is there. And then the quantum part. So we fetch the quantum key, and we basically combine everything together. Finally, it's very important to mention that QKD distribution is not only to point backbone. We can definitely build heterogeneous, complex networks to distribute the keys in a mesh fashion, including trusted nodes and other logical elements. But not only that, we can also serve a centralized cloud application with QKD, just providing to the clients of this cloud service the keys to access, for instance, any end-to-end encryption compatible service.
So speaking about secure microchip, we must enter a little bit in what's happening now about geopolitical aspect. Every one of us knows that as Europe, we must to recover the gap in the world about microchip manufacture. And we decided to put all cryptography that for 50 years Telsy have been developed in one small piece of hardware, and is a specific microchip that can be used as a root of trust about secure elements. It's just an element to put in any system, in any target system, and be able to add a layer of security in any solution. It's born to be plug and play, Italian design, but European manufacturing, to be stronger together. It's very interesting also for strategic target, because any one of us knows that we cannot reach technological supremacy in every kind of sector. It's impossible. But we can reach technological governance. It means that we can enclose any foreign technology under our flag and have full control over it. Concept is very easy. To provide security, you must be armored. At any stage, it's not possible even to read the architecture of the microchip. And in any case, microchip is protected by any kind of attack. Could be tampering and probing attacks, could be fault injection attacks, temperature attacks, laser attacks, side channel attacks. The tampering attempt will be detected, and the device will be self-destruct. Again, Roberto will go in deep to some very technological aspect about encryption.
Well, thank you. The Telsy Secure Microchip is a RISC-V programmable microcontroller that provides a wide variety of security features. For the tech guys, is a bare metal microcontroller. And it comes in two packages. One is the micro SD package, which is like the tiny flash package, to ease its integration in systems, in electronic systems. And the second one is LGA or QFN package for a classical, basically, PCB placement. The microchip is currently undergoing industrial-grade certifications and common criteria certification for security. Well, here is a very rich slide, but just some words. Here is a comprehensive list of all the security features of the microchip. So we have a kind of a very wide SDK in which we provide a large variety of cryptographic primitives which are hardware-backed, hardware-secured. and for encryption, decryption, signature, and authentication, as well as, of course, post-quantum cryptography. And then we have plenty of hardware countermeasures against side channel attacks and fault injection and so forth. That's the second box on the right-hand side. And there, basically, we have all those sensors, as Luca mentioned, digital sensor, analog sensor, to detect tampering, probing, etc., and many other things as well. And finally, the microchip comes with a configurable, secure bootloader to basically allow the end user to fully own the cryptographic life cycle of the application firmware. Okay. The Telsy microchip is at the end an electronic component, okay, for security and trust. One must use basically this electronic component to build a device, such as a crypto token or anything else, and then link this device to an application that basically needs to be secured. Okay, and there are many applications and many solutions that can be built using the microchip. Amongst all them, the many relevant applications can be found in the defense, of course, vertical, but also IoT, cloud and network security, and industrial, etc. So that's really basically. And here we just see one possible example of application, a scenario that basically shows the whole ecosystem. So we have here the microchip securing a system in which we are using different physical layers and different protocols to communicate, to control, etc. And we have basically this applicability, which is very transversal and technological and independent.
Yes, when we decided to do this presentation, we were very in trouble to put one example that could explain some of the use, because application could be everything, like Roberto just explained. And for example, we can protect the remote control from of the drone, and we can make secure critical infrastructure like railway system, or we can make secure a simple application inside the mobile. So it's really, regardless the kind of technology, and could be both military, both civilian, or both physical, or both virtual application. So with this microchip, we are going to finish the presentation about protection measure, about what we can apply for operational environment. Now we move to informational environment. This is the crucial elements. What does it mean? Everything is connected, everyone is connected. Please give me. It means data. And data could be weakness or strength, but depends on ours, depends on how we use the data. Today, intelligence needs face a lot of problems. One is about quantitative problem. There is an overproduction of data, but overproduction of data is also related to overconsuming of data. And it's the same if we move also in the data that we use to help us to train the machine learning and artificial intelligence. And the other one, when we speak about analysis, is related to qualitative issue. But in cybersecurity could be identified anomalies, the malicious bit portion. But in analysis in general, it means that I can have all the data that I gather, that I collect, but even if I miss only one, could be the crucial one. So, is to find the right one, to have full vision and take the right decision. But to take the right decision, we need to breadth and make wider the vision. And to make wider the vision in information environment is much more difficult than about the plenty of domains that you can have about information. Could be social, could be economic, could be political, could be cyber, could be military. So for a comprehensive vision, we must to see everything in only one platform, always to take the better decision, the faster decision, because we understand the context. So, to win is to have information and enhance the information in time. Victory, in any case, is strongly related to quickness. And when we speak about data and put the victory and the quickness inside the data, it means to work in near real time. But when we work in near real time, we need to face so many different sources that we must governance what the data we can find. We can find structured data that is mainly about correlation, or we can find unstructured data that before to do correlation, we need to classify. So this is a topic that everyone must face. What about Telsy? Telsy, we provided technological equipment for government, for classified information. So for us to create something that is tailor-made, it's our nature. It's something that for us is not modifying something. It's just something that born by design. And this is the reason why we are able to create any kind of ontology for any kind of domain, independently by the sector, economic, military, or relationship, just to create the right link relationship inside the domain and among different domains. And because of this, we can create even alert for any high impact information that we should consider before take a decision.
Thank you, Luca. Real times in terms of data means that the collection never stops. Continuous intelligence never stops. But it also means that having to continuously store data, save data, because it's important for us, because if a piece of this data were removed from its own source, we don't lose it, and we can analyze it. Possessing all the data for us means that we are able to find cross-domain link between information. It means complete reports, but also it means that we can produce a better and sophisticated analysis. Responsive valors are empowered in our platform with large language models. And deep recognition and relationship extraction are the heart of the analysis. Here we have one showcase from our last development, the digital protection. The platform can address any domain, and in this showcase we are centered on all the information revolving around individuals. There are three masterpiece key: cyber, reputation, and physical. Cyber, you know, can be a data breach, vulnerabilities, a breach of digital ID.
Or the concept of cyber persona in NATO doctrine, for example.
Yes. Reputation, you know, is defined with sentiment analysis and social media analysis. And last but not least is physical. For example, the leak of an address, photos of your families, and image recognition. Everything that can touch every one of us in our real life. All this information can be used in an offensive scenario, but it can also save the life of a military or our key people.
Exactly the same of kinetic effect on battlefield. We can reach the same goal in a person. So it's a physical threat that can really affect in real life.
So the VIP protection is only an example of one module that we have customized. It is indeed possible to create such dedicated modules for any field of application. And in this slide, you can see also a short recap of our architecture. It's perfect for a military scenario, but also for a private sector. Economic index is not fast as bullet, but daily are more than bullets. This means that is certainly useful, for example, for a CFO or a CIO to better understand scenario and take the right decision in the right moment.
So, with the speech of Gianluca, our presentation is going to finish, but we like to share with you a video of about 60, 90 seconds, no more or longer, that put all together and try to make a visualization of what we try to explain and what we have the pleasure to share with you. Thank you very much for your attention.
We have time for some questions before we go to thank you. So
it not depends by us. So
depends on the audience for sure. But we're not going to cut short on the surprise coffee break we included in the agenda once again today. But the floor is open for questions.
Good morning, Bibi from CertLV. Now we have to face the future challenges already now, and quantum key distribution is the one that kind of targets that as well. However, the store now and break later might, especially for the data in transit, in most of the cases might not be relevant in a long run. When you transfer the data, it's pretty much short-lived data, especially in the battlefield communications. Even you might send the confidential classified information just in the case of war because you need it and it's going to be just sent out regardless if it's intercepted or not. Now, thinking about this, what would you expect when we would see the actual capabilities of intercepting and deciphering, decrypting the data on the fly in the future? I mean, I know quantum key distribution or quantum technology is still in an early stage, so what would be your expectation about the forward-looking?
In our opinion, in any case, in this scenario, QKD is a component, an element that you should add to the system. It's not alone. It's not enough alone to provide field security, but it creates unconditional security on the elements for distribution of the key. And this is also the reason why, as Roberto mentioned in the slide with the word, that we try to enlarge our capability to be the best in class in cryptography with the two kind of technology, to the two kind of approach. And if Roberto want to add something about some technical details.
I don't fully agree with that statement. I mean, it is true indeed that sometimes we have to send a confidential command, for instance, in a military action, that later on won't be relevant. So it won't be actually relevant now to store and decrypt later. So that's probably not the case that we're looking at. But then there are many communications that now are based on asymmetric classical cryptography that maybe are going to be decrypted. We believe in 10 years, a decade is probably reasonable. And behind these encrypted communications, there were some, you can imagine, very sensitive exchange of information, maybe between prime ministers, between politicians, between chief commanders, and okay, this won't change history if it's decrypted in 10 years, but maybe you can have impacts, reputation, country, etc. So. Even in the financial sector, I mean, we're not only looking at the let's say, in the field military context. And so regarding the quantum computing, there is no certainty there. There are many players working in the technology development. A decade is probably the right window. Nevertheless, many countermeasures are already been put in place, including post-quantum cryptography, which is coming, and pre-sharing keys, which is becoming more and more a best practice.
And also regarding what we can manage the classified information, the protection of classified information. It's also another point that I want to underline. When we speak about something that is designed to be applied in a military context or government context, we have a challenge that is not only technological, because we not only should find the best secure technology that scientific community will bring on the market, or in the industrial and after on the market. But we also needs to make some distinguished element that can be different from the science community to protect sensitive information. And this is the reason why I underline that in our vision, for example, QKD, but it's not only related to QKD, is an element that is able to be part of a bigger puzzle of technology and create the best solution, but also the distinguished solution. This is about protection of classified information. If we speak about what does it mean, sensitive data, of course, I still believe that in a lot of cases, the unclassified information could be also more dangerous than classified one, because could affect any aspect of real life that is not less important that compared to classified information. Of course, it depends what we are speaking about, what the threat if you lost a piece of information, but in the cyber domain, that is the reason why we are here today, it's most correctly to speak about sensitive data.
Absolutely. So I would say with this, we use the opportunity to move all the questions to the secret coffee break we have and give a big hand to our panelists. Thank you very much for for being here with us, giving us these insightful questions, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It has been a pleasure. Yeah.